What's going on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video. So it look like Caitlin Clark and her teammate Aliyah Boston is going viral again over new weightlifting footage, and Elle Duncan is doubling down on that big-time apology to Sheryl Swoopes. Guys, we finna unpack it all. For this one here, we gotta go all the way up to Indy. Let's get it. Let's go. Clark and Indiana Fever is definitely back in practice this week as they get prepared for the second half of the 2024 WNBA season, and that is not stopping these young ladies from sticking together and making awesome content, man. The last time Aliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark dropped the workout video, it garnered millions of views via TikTok, and I'm here to tell you this next one is probably going to do the same thing because these young ladies is putting their strength to the test in this new viral TikTok video. With all that being said, let's roll the footage.
All right, we are back with another weight room lift. Here we go. Oh, the girl is strong. Like she's wearing a stupid little outfit. Cute. Yes, hit it. Hit it. Do I look strong? Yep, you do. Yeah. There we go. Break time. Bill. Bill. What?
Say, hey, yo, no pop right.
Ooh, get it strong. Cause who messing with Les? No, get it live. Post lift swole.
That was Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston getting it in the weight room, man. And it's just great to see their chemistry is building throughout this season. And as we get prepared for the second half, I know Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever is going to be ready to go because Christy Sides has been putting in work with this new practice footage that was released yesterday by the Indiana Fever basketball team. Let's roll the footage.
Nothing else bang harder as the funk does.
That was Caitlin Clark and her teammates getting prepared for the second half of the season, and it's just great to see them getting that work in, man. Moving on to another story. Now, we already know Sheryl Swoopes is a big-time Caitlin Clark hater. I don't care what nobody says, bruh. She has been on record time and time again throwing shots at the young superstar, and me personally, I feel like it is definitely intentional. Now, Elle Duncan of ESPN weighed in on the matter last Thursday, and she apologized after her take in calling out Sheryl Swoopes over her harsh criticism in regards to Caitlin Clark. Well, today she went on her podcast to apologize again, bruh. With all that being said, let's check out what Elle Duncan had to say. Roll the footage.
On this, Monday afternoon, and a lot of reaction to our last podcast, and in particular, a conversation that we had surrounding Sheryl Swoopes, who had joined a podcast and was, talking about, quote unquote, Caitlin Clark, amongst various other topics. And I'm always really hesitant to sort of address things like a second and a third time after addressing them the first time, just because it keeps it fresh in the news cycle, right? But I want to address the situation despite the fact I've already apologized last Friday because of a couple of reasons. A, because I just went to NABJ and I sold these journalists on doing proper research, and B, because I want to answer to the folks who think that I waffled or took a step back because I was somehow influenced by some woke mob that forced me to. So the situation, very quickly, if you don't know, was I kind of took the bait and I said that Sheryl Swoopes, based on some of these clickbait headlines from the story about Caitlin Clark, was giving some hater. It was giving off hater. Now, here's where I messed up. I didn't do enough research, okay? I have been, Gary, working at a furious pace, as you know, and I have been telling myself subliminally for a while, like, you need to slow down, or you need to be putting more thought into the things that you say, or you need to be doing a little bit more research. We tend to put our feet up a little bit in the summer. And I've been sort of, jack of all trades, master of noneing this thing for a while. And it bit me in the ass last week because I made a judgment on someone and about someone without knowing the full story, without listening to the actual podcast, without not getting the full context behind it. When I said Cheryl Swoops was coming off as hatery, I was looking at essentially a paraphrased quote of like Katie Lou Samuelson is better than Caitlin Clark, or these things that were attributed to her. And instead of doing what I should have done was saying, well, let me hear it for myself, I just reacted to paraphrasing type of headlines. And I have a responsibility to do better because you can wing some shit in this job, Gary. You can wing Snoop's antics at the Olympics. You can wing, he got a big and he know how to use it. You can wing a lot of these things. But when you are going to make a judgment on someone and it is going to validate an entire group of people who have said abhorrent things to said person, you've got to be right. You've got to know and be informed on what you're going to say. And I didn't do that. I did not do that. And I sent yet again a vitriolic mob to Cheryl Swoops' doorsteps. And I gave them validation to say nasty, horrible things to her. See, Elle Duncan says she's a hater. Let me be nasty to Cheryl Swoops now. And I am so sorry to her for doing that. Listen, we have a job, Gary, where we are going to say things sometimes that people are not going to like. And I stand on my opinion of things when I am well informed, when I know I am not just being inflammatory for the sake of being inflammatory. When I know I've done my research, I can stand on said opinion. But I waffled, AKA apologized, because I could not in this situation. Because when I went back and actually listened to it after I had already started all this shit, I was embarrassed. I was like, there was so much more context behind this conversation that was necessary. And I begged people. I sat at NABJ, Gary, and I told these young journalists, you have to be a master researcher. You have to stop in a world of bad information being disseminated. We have to be the ones to do the research. We have to know both sides so that we can be informed. And then I walked right upstairs to that hotel room and I didn't look at this rundown on this show for a second because I've been playing fast and loose with just ad-libbing this shit. And I made a snap judgment and it started some shit. And I'm sorry. I am so sorry to Cheryl Swoops because she deserved better. If I was going to lay that at her doorstep, then I needed to do a better job at my job. And I did not. I failed at my job last Thursday. And that doesn't make it any better for Cheryl because now forever on the internet, there lives a clip of me being like, Cheryl Swoops is a hater. Despite the apology that I made the next day, despite going back and going, oops, I f***ed up. That lives forever now. I can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, but I'm asking those journalists that I met to do better than me. Use this as an example. Use this as an example. We owe the people that we criticize that respect. We owe them the respect of knowing the full story. And if we can't do that, then we have got to have irrational amounts of humility and accountability when we do it wrong. And I did it wrong last Thursday. I did not answer to some woke mob. I did not feel the pressure from the basketball community. No one texted me. I just did the best thing that I could do in that moment, which was admit that I effed up and say, I'm sorry. And I hope that Cheryl forgives me and that I will do better and that this was a very teachable moment for me.
Mm-hmm. That was Elle Duncan setting the record straight about her apology. Cheryl Swoops claiming that nobody pressed her to make that apology. I think they did because the apology didn't come right away. The apology came the next day after the content was soaked in by the millions of people standing behind Caitlin Clark and the millions of retweets and everything that sent the drama to Cheryl Swoops' doorstep. That is what I believe happened. I believe somebody got in her ear and told her to apologize, bruh. But it is what it is. Get down in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts about this. Keep them bills on because you know I'm going to bring you the news. And until next time, dog, shake the haters off. I'm out of here. Peace out. Shake the haters.